So the other day I was mowing my lawn, well, what looks like lawn, what's meant to be lawn, and I drove over my sprinkler with a cylinder mower that weighs about 100 kilos, and I snapped the sprinkler off on the fitting. So I'm going to repair that now and show you how. So just to give a bit of context, I don't actually, I've never mowed with a cylinder mower prior to, well, not one that heavy, prior to breaking the sprinkler. So you'll see here, that's all floppy. It's still connected to the fitting. I turned the irrigation system on and they wouldn't pop up, and I couldn't work out why, and I saw water was just running down here. So that's how I identified the problem. Now I know that there's two sprinklers joined together here, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. The idea, if you've got an established lawn, is that you want to replace a sprinkler like this and then put it back as if you weren't there. So what I've done here is I've sliced this sod with the shovel. Spade? I don't know. I'm not a tradesperson. And I'm just trying to cut the top of that sod off without damaging the sprinkler, the pipe. So that's the hard part about this. The sprinklers are on pipe, and the pipe runs straight across, so I didn't want to damage the pipe while I was repairing the damaged pipe. So I'm just going to pull all this out and keep it in a box and just clean this up as much as I can by hand. Now this could have been avoided by using an articulated riser. The articulated risers will give and it won't snap. The problem is, in Adelaide, no one really uses them. So I just didn't put one in. You'll find in Western Australia, everyone uses them. Now, this is going to be a really interesting repair because that snapped off and I don't have anywhere, like I've got no play. So I need to somehow get the T out of the pipe. There's another fitting here that might help us actually. So obviously you want to try and like pull the pipe up to push the fitting back in. Now I used to do irrigation installations and repairs before I opened Waterpro, and one of the rules that I always made with my guys is dig a bigger hole than you need, and you'll always be happy. Now I've done exactly the opposite of that now. So I'm going to dig another, I guess, more space. So this has helped me identify that I need to be able to undo these cobras, which I can do with the cobra tool. So I'm going to need some space out this way, and then I'm going to need to be able to pull that fitting out. So I'm going to need some space this way. Now, if you have a look, there's another fitting there, which just complicates things even more. How are we going to do that?
Come out this way.
I'm actually better off going that way, yeah. So what I'm going to do, because there's that other T there and that goes that way, I'm going to trench back a little bit. I just want enough to be able to lift up and push back down. So I'll probably take, well, let's see how we go. Now the lawn is quite young, so the root zone's pretty shallow. So, oh, there you go, some conduit there as well, just to complicate things even further. I thought I felt something. Far out. This is like the worst possible place to have broken the sprinkler. We've got the conduit and the T. I think we might be alright, like, just need enough room to leverage that. Now, I've used that orange conduit as a conduit to hold there's a 13mm poly going across to the garden, and there's some lighting cable in there for when we put the lights in. So there's not high voltage cable there. For anyone watching at home, don't be too concerned. I'm not going to electrocute myself. So I'm going to go get the tools that we need now and see if we can't repair this. I had a few mates asking me if I actually know how to do anything like handy recently. I think it was on the weekend. They're like, do you actually know how to do stuff? Because I don't do anything.
Yeah, but I'm a busy man.
Well, unless there's content to be made, I'm not interested in being part of that. Okay, so that should be enough space. There's a bit of flex there. I'm going to go grab the cobra tool and the T, and we're going to get that fitting out of there as well. So the sprinkler will be fine. We're going to reuse that, but we do have a fitting stuck in there. Luckily, there's a bit hanging out that I can use to try and grab with some pliers and open that up. All right, so now we've got all the tools we need to fix this. We've got the sprinkler that broke, or that broke off of the T. So there's a replacement T. We've got to cut that T out, fit this T in, screw the sprinkler back on, make sure it's facing the right way, backfill it with some sand or loam. Now, when I did the install originally, I've used these Cobra clamps. Great thing about Cobra clamps is you can actually take them off using the tool that you use to put them on. So I'm hoping I can just undo these Cobras, slide them back a bit, see that? Oh, that'll be right. So the other Cobra is facing the wrong way. Come on. So I have to undo the Cobra here as well and slide that one back so I can rotate this around and get to the other Cobras. So I'm going to rebuild this in a way that I can access it later.
Was that like pre-built before you put it into the ground?
Because it was two sprinklers next to each other, we built it above ground, and we just weren't thinking about this side of things. So little tip there for you. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's all there, all open now. We've taken all those Cobras off. Now they're reusable, so I'm just going to leave them on there. I've got spares if I need them. That's going to slide back, so hopefully I can just lift this up and pull that out. But actually, I might take that out. All right. All right, so I've got a bit of mud in there, we don't want that. I'm definitely not sight fit, and these are not working jeans, so I'm gonna get in trouble for wearing them doing this, but it's for YouTube, so it's important. So I'm gonna get the, this is what's happened. So that's snapped off of there, you can't blame it. So I need to get that old piece out. So I'm going to grab it like that and turn it out, hopefully, without breaking it off. No, that's breaking off. Okay. They do make a tool for getting these out. I'm just going to use this and stick it in as hard as I can and turn it out like that, hopefully. There we go. So what I've just done there is push down on the sprinkler while I'm doing it. It's just grabbed it a bit better and it's taking it out. Voila. There are tools for that. You can always kind of try and cut grooves in there and get a screwdriver and turn it out, but it really doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get it out. So we've kept that clean now. So there's no dirt or debris in there. I can put that straight back on here, as we would have talked about in previous videos. Not a thread tape requirement here. Now, obviously before I mentioned about putting articulated risers in, you would probably be thinking to yourself, this is a good time to do that. I'm not doing it. I can't be stuffed. I just want to get it back in there. I'm going to make a promise to myself never to run over it again, so we don't have any problems. But if we run over it again, you know, more content. Hey, Michael. So I'm going to rebuild this little 2 sprinkler setup now. If this was not being installed with Cobra clamps, I'd encourage you to replace this pipe. It's obviously been pre-flared, so it's going to slide on really easily because it's got that flare there. The Cobra clamps are going to do all the work here, so they'll hold it down. And I'll do them up once everything's in place, and I'll also do them up facing that way. So with any luck, I can just shove that in there and that in there and kind of push them down together. Maybe. Oh, come on. Just not enough, eh? So this is why I haven't done the Cobra clamps up yet, because I need that flex. It's just not quite enough of that conduit there. There, come on. There we go. All right. So that's all back where it needs to be. I'm going to do all these Cobra clamps up now. These sprinklers are sitting quite high in comparison to the lawn for a reason. My desire is to get the lawn up right onto this mowing strip. When we installed the lawn, we didn't have enough soil in here, but I didn't have the time in true Clint fashion. I just wanted the lawn down. I didn't really give a shit about it. So I got the lawn down, and now we're going to build it up. So subscribe to the channel. No, actually, look at Lawn Hub's channel, and go over there and subscribe. There'll be a lot more content about how we get this lawn up, but for now we need to get it watered. So if you want to have a look at that duff, man, we've got all these Cobras sitting there ready to go. Everything's where it needs to be. The sprinklers are nice and tight. So I'm just going to go and tighten up each Cobra. Now I want to try and get that pipe in as far as we can. I think I kind of lost a bit of it. That should be all right. So they're reusable, that's done up now. These are great clamps. Most of our customers have moved to these.
What's the alternative?
Plastic. So plastic's a lot cheaper, but you know, as you've seen there, I mean, plastic you could quickly just push them around and you'd be all right. But these just don't break. Like, I think they're made in Germany. Everything made in Germany is strong.
Except for my car.
What's your car?
It's a Volkswagen Golf.
Volkswagens are pretty good, except when they're trying to cheat the emissions and stuff, aren't they?
Usually.
So as you can see, like, that's grabbing. They're not going anywhere. So hopefully I can get enough purchase on that. I'm kind of having to come up a bit with it. And to be honest, with them pointing upwards probably isn't a bad thing, more than out to the side. Because then if I need to open those clamps again, I can grab it from the top. All right, so they're all done up. Now I'm going to test that before I backfill. So stand by, but don't stand there. Ah, beautiful. Good sprinkler. So the one on the left-hand side, there's a left corner strip. Sorry, a right corner strip. Oh, I got that one wetting me. So I'm just going to grab this. If you're going to grab the throat of the sprinkler like that, be really careful because they're pretty sensitive. So that's there, and then I'm just going to open that out. So you would have seen that in our other videos, how to adjust the angle on an R-van. Now, actually, that's spraying the wall. That's why it was like that. We want it on a 90, and we want it just spraying that way, Rainbird would kill me for doing that. That's better. So now I'm not spraying my wall. So I'm just spraying straight there, straight there. I want to take it back just a little bit. Oopsies. All right, now I'm going to leave that on because this lawn needs a bit of water because it hasn't had any. And we've just put some fertilizer down, but I'm going to backfill while that's on, just so that we can get some soil in that hole so it doesn't fill up with water. So I've used this cardboard here just to try and keep it as clean as I can. If it was a new system, sorry, if it was a really nice new existing lawn, if you dig your hole and then leave your soil on the side, it never kind of goes back in the same, and then you've got all this soil here and it just mounds up. So unfortunately this is leaking out water because it's the lowest sprinkler on the line, so everything that was in there is coming out here. If you're having that issue, you can put a check valve in to your sprinklers. You can't retrofit check valves into these though, and I think they're a 3-inch, so we can't actually put check valves in here. The Hunter equivalent does it, and I think I might even leave this exposed and change that for a Hunter body. I'm gonna do another video and show you what that's like, because this puddling is going to become a problem. As you can see, like, I can't even get soil back in that hole, and you've got all this water here and it's all coming down here, or it's leaking out there as well. So they should all have check seals in them. By doing that, when you turn the sprinkler system off, all that pipe stays full of water, so it's ready for the next cycle, and it doesn't drain into your corners. So what will happen, I'll put that soil back on once that dries, and then make it all nice and sorted out. Duffy might not be here for that, but that there is how to replace a T in a difficult situation underneath a conduit next to another fitting when you drive a cylinder mower over a sprinkler and snap it off its fitting. Yeah, hope that was beneficial to some of you. If you're enjoying our content, as always, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it again.